Hey man, the Bulls start off the season 0-1, but it's some stuff that we liked it to see, and there was some stuff that we saw that was in the old Bulls. We're gonna get more into it. And are we gonna be buyers or sellers in this trade deadline when it comes to the NFL? There's been a lot of talks of players that we have here that has a little bit more value that really is not really valuable here, but possibly we can move them. We're gonna talk right after that, but you gotta hear that music first. Yo, thank y'all tuning in for another episode of Shy Town Sports Central. It's one of your hosts here, Steve O, with another host here, Q, aka Quentin, up in the building. Hey, we ain't gonna be here for y'all long because as y'all know, it's Thursday. Ain't too much going around in Chicago when it comes to other sports, but it was a big night for the Bulls because it was the first game of the 2024-2025 season against the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, it wasn't all fireworks like we thought. Zion Williamson did not play. He was out due to illness, but everybody else came to play. And the Bulls had a great first half starting off, especially from the people like Zach Levine, who had 19 in the first half. You also had a pretty steadfast, consistent game from Nikola Vucevic, which we pretty much always suspect. But we did come up short and we did lose the game 123 to 111 against the Pelicans. What was your first initial thoughts of the game just as a whole before we do a deep dive into it?
First thoughts are these are the Bulls we thought we were gonna have.
Yep, yeah,
Just
pretty
as
much.
usual. They look okay and then they make us sad at the end. That's just how they played for the last few years. And I mean, I don't know what else we expected.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the thing, like with the whole thing with Demar and everything. Like we kind of said it, and we kind of alluded to it that this was gonna be a season. It was gonna be more fun, but we probably gonna lose a lot of games. This team is very young. It's a lot of people on this team that wasn't on this team, so it's a lot of learning that we have to get. And it's a lot of getting used to. When you don't have a prolific scorer that you're used to in the DeMar DeRozan, like you got to adjust. It's an adjustment period because ain't nobody to save you, and we kind of seen that in the second half. There was nobody to save us when it was come down to when it was a close game, and it just spread it out towards the end. And we still seeing the same type of problems. Second quarter woes, third quarter woes. The offense still doing this. To me, it don't look any different. We're still doing the drive-in kickouts. But I think the story of the game for me was too many turnovers. We ended the game with 21 turnovers, and in the third quarter, I believe it was like 16-6. And in the second and third quarter, we barely averaged 5 turnovers in each quarter. So
Yeah.
with that being said, what was your thoughts when you seen that? And it was just a lot of people just leaving their feet and making bad passes.
That was the thought. Like for some reason, everyone on this team feels like they have to jump before they pass. And I don't understand the thought process of that. Like
At
I
all.
don't like it happens 7 to 8 times a game. Mostly Kobe. Kobe's go-to
Yeah.
move is jump in the air and hope you can pass. He thinks he's like a 2K player with bailout. Like he thinks it's just gonna
Right.
work
Bailout Hall of
every
Fame.
just every time. It seems like they saw DeMar do that 360 pass to Kobe, and now everybody's like, "Yeah, I could do that." That's clearly the way to do it. This
Yeah.
team doesn't know how to play. Like they just don't. They make very bad decisions. And it just seems like Billy Donovan doesn't know how to adjust. If they start making bad decisions, they just it from then on out, it's just terrible. He just sits there and he's like, "What are you doing? You're the coach. I don't know. Tell us what we're
Yeah.
doing. Tell us how to fix it."
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest things going away from this game is one thing for sure that we know about this team. Like it's a lot of unknown when it comes to this team, but one thing we know for certain is Billy is Billy. Billy ain't changed. He still had the same mind thought process. I will say the only thing that was different that we did see 11-man rotation, which is not normal from Billy Donovan. So he did explore, but he also was also Billy. I think Montes Buzelis only played 33 minutes the whole game. So he's notorious for not playing rookies. Dalen didn't see much time. We've seen a lot of THT coming in the game. We've seen a lot of we didn't even see a lot of Torrey Craig, but for the most part, who was some players that impressed you just in the first game so far?
First game, and I talk about it on my channel. Two people, Io and Lonzo. They looked
Mm,
ready. Those were the
yeah,
two players that looked like they spent the offseason trying to play professional basketball. Everyone else just, or I would say Zach for the first half.
maybe for the first half, yeah.
Yeah, for the first half when he came out, I was like, oh, so this is the Zach we're getting this year. And then immediately we went down and he became the old Zach. So
Hmm.
I can't even give him credit anymore because he just did what he used to do. Io and Lonzo both understood their assignment. Lonzo was getting people involved. You saw the team start to play faster. He was making better passes. And Io understands how to get to the rim, right? We were struggling from three at one point. He's like, no, I'm not shooting. I'm just going to drive every time.
Yeah,
Keep going downhill. And that's what you need players to do. Have the IQ to know what to do if you're not scoring. Like Kobe has that issue. He missed 4 threes. And he's like, I'm going to shoot another one. I'm not driving for nothing. I'm gonna
him
keep
and Zach.
him and Zach.
And, and that's the main thing. I think that's the most frustrating thing about Zach is he can get 30 on a night easy. He just don't realize it. Like a lot of his game is predicated on that year where he felt like he was shooting at an all-time high, which he was. He was definitely shooting at an all-time high, but you're one of the most athletic people in the league. You have one of the quickest first steps in the league. You can get to the rim at will. And there was a point in the game in the third quarter where he got to the rim and he went under and past it. I'm like, dude, you right there. Like at some point it has to come like you said. When it comes to Io, he just knows he has a knack for basketball, better IQ. When it's time to go to the rim, I know this dude cannot beat me off the dribble. I'm going to the hole, and there's nothing you can stop me from. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
and
think Billy Donovan is a Billy Donovan need to realize he need to not only just play because he played tonight. Some Io played 24 minutes, but he need more. It need to be more intentionality around Io.
yeah, they kind of just throw him in there whenever they're down. Like Io
Yeah,
going into the game is, oh, we need someone to spark us, not, oh, we're winning. Let's continue to win. That's the issue.
yeah,
Is our team is built off of what happens when we go down because we never start a game with any type of energy, with any type of like care, and then we always go down by 5 or 10, and then it's like, oh, we're down. Okay, now we can start making moves, and that's what
yeah.
this team is. It's a team that only knows how to play from behind, and we see it. They're from behind. We started losing. Zach comes in playing well. Io comes in. Now we're winning. The moment we get the lead, oh, we're winning. Oh, how does basketball work? We just stop. We
I
stop
don't
doing
know.
everything that worked. No passing. The big thing for Zach I see though is he forces so many shots when he doesn't need to. Like
You don't need to. It
what he was
should be layup attempts.
right. Well, not even that. What he was doing good in the first half is he was playing in the flow. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's an open shot. I'll take it. Okay, this
Hmm.
one, there's 2 seconds left. Okay, I gotta force this shot because no one else can shoot it. But then
Hmm.
second half, Vooch is wide open. He's like, no, Vooch, you good. I'm gonna take this contested three in the corner. I
Yeah,
like, I think I can make it now. What I saw last game is he was doing great until he took that heat check.
yeah. That
He
heat check
airballed
when
that
he
heat check
airballed.
and it
Yeah,
died. Like he was like,
yeah.
oh no, I don't airball. I'm shooting every
And,
contested
and
shot.
I'm And I remember on the live stream, he was like, "No, like you not on fire no more. Like that flame has been flamed out, dog. Like you gotta realize the moment." And that's the thing. I think that's the one glaring. It's just the IQ part of the knack of
Yep.
basketball. Is just the thing that's lacking with Zach. And I don't know where he gonna gain it from, but he need to gain it fast. But it is what it is. Now I will say Jalen Smith really impressed me last night. He finished with 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from three, and he made all 4 of his free throws.
Yeah, Jaden Smith is a player. Like he's that energy guy. Like I I was trying to say before, I don't know who's our energy person, right? Javante's gone, by the way. Watching him on another team was sad. Like we were so bad,
Bro,
I caught myself cheering for Javante to score.
bro,
Like,
bro, Big Kev said last night, how the hell did we let him go? Then last season say, you know what, we should let you go. Bring him back. Saying what he did while bringing him back and then let him go again.
you know who I would rather have Javante over? Diorte.
Chris Deordre and Catfish.
Why would we not want Javante? Like
I like he's instant energy, instant bucket. Out of everybody on this team, including P. Will, Giddy, and all, he was the one person that knew how to move without the basketball.
Yep.
Who knew just to know when to cut.
Imagine him with Giddy and Lonzo as point. Just the whole game, somebody who could pass you the ball for moving.
It's sick. It's sickening. Like the fact that you let it go and you're not gonna play De La Terry. You're barely gonna play Montes Buzelis. Like what is your thought process? Like I ain't gonna like coming away from this game. A lot of people was looking at us losing. I wasn't looking at the team. I was looking at Billy once again, like I've been looking at the last 4 years. I don't know if you paid attention to when he first came in. I was never a fan of Billy. I knew what Billy was when he came in. If you can't win with goddamn James Harden, Westbrook, and KD, I don't think you're gonna do shit with Vooch, Lonzo. I just I didn't see it, and it's still some of the same problems. It's still some of the same woes. Not adjusting. You got outbeat. You got outcoached by Willie Green, and that's not saying nothing because Willie Green not even that good. He all right. So like, it was just an overall disappointment, and can't even say disappointment. It was almost just I understood what was coming because it's Billy Donovan.
No, it was a disappointment because it's not a disappointment because they lost because we want them to lose. We don't care.
Yeah,
but the disappointment is we lost. We looked like the people who we wanted to look good looked worse. So Zach just didn't help his trade value at all. And we didn't play the rookie that we want to develop. Like, how do we lose a game, not help Zach's trade value, and on top of that, don't play any of our young players to get
don't
any
even
experience?
see what we got.
We literally just played the worst possible scenario of a loss.
And then I didn't want to. We gotta talk about it. I didn't really want to get it, but we gotta talk about it. Patrick Williams.
Who?
Exactly. Who? Patrick fucking Williams.
Is that the guy who 2 years ago was on the team and then he ended up where Marko Simonovic ended up? Is that because at this point
he might be Marco at this point because I don't know who the fuck this tulip sunflower seed ass nigga. Like I'm getting to the point where I'm getting extremely, extremely, extremely frustrated with P. Will because you don't need no plays drawn up for you to do anything. You're 6'7", you're a good athlete. Why you can't put like I was sitting there looking at Jalen Smith? I'm like, why you can't do nothing, Jalen? Jalen Smith is not doing anything called from. He's just hustling. Ball come off the rim, put back. He see a ball come off the rim, get back, put it back up. He see an open shot, which is something one thing we know P. Will is not gonna hesitate on is a three. That's probably his greatest value to this game, is three ball. But besides that, you couldn't get to the free throw line. You only went to the free throw line twice, and you was 1 for 2.
Also, one of those plays, he had McCollum on him, and he pulled up to shoot.
And another play where he was he got the rebound under the rim and hit the fucking bottom of the goddamn rim. I just can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Like, I don't.
The worst part is he was good like before because it was, or at least he plays defense.
Right.
I'm not even seeing the defense anymore. Like
it's gone.
He just out
it's
there
gone.
at this point. He just.
And I don't know if that's credit to the injury because we all know, like, even though he was a solid defender, like his weakness was moving his feet. So I don't know if the injury to his legs and his feet was a reason why it's even worse now. But yeah, he was just letting people blow right past him. And Billy Donovan, I don't know why we decided to keep Giddy on BI all night when clearly Giddy don't know how to read the screen. And that's all B.I. gonna do all night.
Well, who you gonna put on him though? Because Giddy can't guard him, Kobe can't guard him, Zach can't guard him, Patrick Williams can't guard him. Apparently, he can't. Apparently, nobody can play defense on this team except for Ayo. Ayo's the only one who can actually play, and he's too short to.
Hell, put Ayo on him. Shit, do something. Do something, dog.
There's no one on this team who can play one-on-one defense. Like if I was the Bulls coaching staff. Every practice, we're having at least 30 minutes, 40 minutes of just one-on-ones.
One-on-ones and an hour of communication on defense.
Yep. One-on-ones. Sit there. He can't get past you. I don't get no help. Guard him. Y'all gotta learn how to guard somebody. I can't be watching y'all let people blow. We don't even know how to play zone. Like
And that's the
Io,
easiest. We can't even hide the weakness of
at one
nobody
point
because
we
we
played
all weak.
zone. At one point we played zone, and somehow Giddy and Io switched.
And they still got a backdoor cut on that play.
I don't understand. Like zone, like even people who don't really play basketball kind of know how to play zone. Like it's
Bro, it's a group full of 12-year-olds on 2K right now at 9:30 this morning running zone on Pro-Am.
competitive pro-am, shutting people down. No, they communicating. They talking about where they need to be, who need to switch.
Left,
Just
left, I go home. I go home. Left, left. And he go around the corner like we talk on Xbox PS4 party more than this Bulls team, which is a problem.
it's so sad that like these grown adults don't know how to be like, hey, switch. That's it.
I got your help. You can't even say that. Like, bro, like it's no communication. Like we seen it all on the training camp. Like Kobe talk. Like I don't believe it no more.
I miss Javante and I miss Alex Caruso already.
Man. And we lost to a motherfucker with a broken hand. Apparently, DeJounte Murray has a fractured hand.
Yep. And still was getting to the rim.
Still gave us a double-double, 14 to 10.
That's the Bulls for you.
Ay, caribre. But yeah, that was the final score. That was it. 111 to 123. We do have a game Friday night against the Bucks.
Yeah, that's not gonna be fun.
Not gonna be fun, but y'all know where we're gonna be. Make sure y'all watch Chicago Bulls Central with Haize, and make sure y'all watch the Cognac Boys over there where we do the live streams on Shy Bulls podcast. So make sure y'all tune in over there. But to get to the last topic of the day, because ain't nothing else going on in sports world. The Chicago Bears training camp is approaching very quickly. And it seems to me that we're likely to be more sellers than buyers. I feel like that's a lot of things. You know, a lot of people been talking about Max Crosby and Miles Gary, polls making calls about that in the situation, but it's come out yesterday that Khalil Herbert, um, Nate Davis, and Dominique Robinson are some people that we feel that a lot of people feel has a lot of value, and some teams are calling about. So before we get deep dive into that, what was your first thoughts when you hear those names in the topics of being traded possible?
I mean, it makes sense. Those are people who have skill. They don't get much time on our team. Like Herbert, especially. Why
Yeah.
keep him? Like he Herbert can play. Like, let's be real. Herbert is a good running back. He ain't gonna play here. like,
It's that simple.
like Johnson is killing it. You're not gonna put him over Swift because that would just be dumb.
Stupid.
So you got to let him go for something. Like to just have that talent and be like, yeah, you the third string just in case. That's just you got to get something out of it. I mean, that's the thing. These are people who they're gonna be somewhere. I just hope we don't trade them to someone who hurts us. That's the big issue. But you got to get rid of them. You can't just keep people to have it. Like it doesn't help you to have this talent if you're not gonna use it. You're just wasting a roster spot.
And I'm glad I'm starting to hear this because I think my only reserved about Pose, and I don't really have too many like reserved spots in me about Pose, but my one thing was like you just didn't want to get rid of people when it was time to, like. And these three people, and even include, I've heard some rumblings about Bayless, and apparently people want Bayless, even though I don't know who the hell wants Ferry. But yeah, when it comes to that, like I always felt like, well, especially coming off the HBO, I knew we was mainly gonna be more sellers than anything because he not overpaying. We seen what he did with Matthew Judon. He was like, I'm sticking with this. If we go over that box and he want more than this, we're not doing it. They went over that box, we said we're not doing it. So to me, when I hear these three names, it's just three names that have been beaten out by multiple players in their position. If you look at Nate Davis, Matt Pryor, Doug Kramer, the under center that came in. We still waiting for Ryan Bates. There's just a lot of people in front of him that's been playing way better, especially Matt Pryor, who took over his position. And yeah, and then we got Karen in waiting, and they basically saying like he almost ready. And once Ryan Bass backs, we really gonna be feeling good. So and he's making a lot of money. The effort hasn't been there. There's people playing way better than him. He's been nothing but a headache since he's been here. Send him on his merry way.
Mm.
Get that money off your contract, and possibly you can use that to possibly, if you want to, possibly take a swing at one of these big old edges, which I just don't think is possible. It's possible, but you shouldn't. You can use that. And for the Herbert, I've always said Herbert ain't been Herbert since Monty left. And in order for that to be Monty had to you have to have what I call a scat back and a big back. You got to have one or two. And in this situation, Sweat is a way better scat back than Khalil ever was. He can catch out the backfield. He's way better in open space. He can run in between the tackle way better than Khalil ever was. And he's a little bit better in pass protection. And Rojo has been stepping up and doing some of the same things, and he's looking more of a bell toe back. So you got your 1 and 2 back, and Travis Homer's getting pushed off after IR. You ain't no place for you. And Dominic Robinson, Daniel Hardy, Chris Williams, Darrell Taylor, Austin Booker. I need to go more.
Yep.
It was just too many people in front of him.
Well, I knew it was gone the moment we were running Roshan, and then Valus was running back before her.
Right.
Everything you need to know right there. They literally put the most fumbling player ever to touch a football to hold the ball over you. You ain't got a space here. I'm sorry.
You ain't got to. You should have known. You should have been looking for houses. You should have been packing up, selling your crib as right now. It's already be sold. You should have seen it coming.
Hey, that's what Cam said in his podcast. He said, "Hey, never buy a home at some point,
especially if you're a running back. Like there's no reason for you to buy a home.
Going somewhere.
There's no reason, like at all. I don't care if you if you Christian McCaffrey. I'm not buying a home. I'm just.
But I would say I do think they're gonna be. I think they will be sellers. I think they should only be sellers if they find a giant talent. Like for me, the way the Bears are going right now, if they do get it like a Crosby type of talent, I can understand. You got to go for that.
Yeah.
Right. That's a like, oh, this is a once in a lifetime. Like to have him and Sweat back, like you got to do it. But like other than that, if you're not getting something that big, wait. Why are you like?
Don't take that big swing that you don't need to.
The Bears aren't winning a Super Bowl this year. Like let's be. I mean, if they do, hey, I'm wrong. But they're not.
I'll be happily wrong.
Right. They're not built. They're not built to win a Super Bowl. Why would you make Super Bowl random trades for backup pieces when you can draft them? Like it don't make no sense. Get you a superstar for next year in Crosby if you get him. Now your defense is set. We don't need none. We good. Oh, offense. We good. Focus on the offensive line.
Yeah. And that's the only thing. Like, if we are gonna be buyers with anything in this trade deadline, it should be a lineman. And it shouldn't be nobody else. Like, if anything needs to be improved on this team, it's the O line. And when it comes, like you said, I agree with you, especially with I mean, Max Crosby will probably make the most sense. He's the youngest, and his contract is bottom is very top heavy. So the last few years of his contract is lower than what it started, so it's more reasonable. Now, people that want Miles, I'm like, you kind of putting more pressure on the organization and Caleb because he's 28 and he making hella money. He ready to win. So that's going to push the process of winning a little bit further than it already is. So, yeah, I've always said you don't want to swing a little bit too early just in case you don't know what things going on. I kind of feel like Detroit kind of did that in their last draft, getting a tight end and a running back. I'm like, you kind of need some defenders. You need some defense on this team, but you went to go get something to enhance your offense that was already pretty good, which is paying off dividendly. I still think it was an early swing, which I feel like is putting their window is the next 3 years. They got to win either to this year, next year, or the year after that. Versus us, we kind of have damn near a 5-year plan from now.
But I mean, hey, knowing Chicago sports, The Bears trade for a receiver.
Uh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what receiver is out there for us. I don't know what receiver that we
Chicago.
desperately need.
It's Chicago. It don't matter. They're gonna find
Yeah,
they're gonna find a way to make us all angry.
right. And the receiver just gonna be special teams. He's gonna be a kick
Or
returner.
they're gonna just put Bayless at receiver. Be like he can't do kick
We're gonna
returns.
use him like Devin Hester. No,
He's gonna become the next best. He can't catch a kick return, but he can catch a regular slant.
he dropped the ball in the flat last year. No, yeah,
That's the thing. For me to literally have a person on your team that dropped this many kick returns, you take him off kick return, you put him back for the first time and immediately fumbles.
and not fumbles. He fumbles forward. The ball goes 20 yards forward. I've never
Like-
seen no shit like that.
I think he doesn't want to be a Bear. I think it's on purpose. I think he's just
No, I think he just goofy. He just a goofy guy. Like it's a reason why he was in college for 6 years. Suppose that's all I gotta say. He 28.
oh man, they just don't want to get rid of him. They don't want to say that it's bad, even though we all
Cut
know.
your losses. Cut your losses, bro. At the end of the day, when you go to sleep at night, cut your losses should be in your brain.
Velus Jones is the Denzel Valentine of the Bears.
That's pretty accurate.
Spot on.
That's quite accurate. I'm
That-
not
that-
even gonna lie.
That push forward fumble is the same as that half court Curry shot. It's just
And we're gonna end it on that. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. You got anything else for this topic?
no, man. I mean, the Bears are the Bears. The Bulls are the Bulls. We go every year hoping that somebody could be okay.
Yeah. Bears definitely in a better spot compared to the Bulls. So yeah, we're gonna tune in and yeah. But thank y'all for tuning in for another episode. We did go live on this one. Shout out to the people in the chat. We had Naz in the building, Bizarre Nova Beats in the building as well, saying yeah, Giddy defense definitely a liability. P Will, aka can't get right. He definitely can't get right. He's a team full of introverts. That's pretty accurate. Team full of introverts, low key. Like we need somebody to be a leader. And what's crazy is Io might be that leader. Who knows? Hey, Michael A said Bulls not worth talking about, and the Bears shouldn't be buyers or sellers. If anything, I do say they should be sellers. Like, why not? If you could get something out of nothing, go on to get it. Buyers, I'm with you. They shouldn't be buying anything. Like, if it's not an old lineman, don't be buying nothing.
I say
yeah,
keep them till the draft. Could you imagine if we can trade Herbert at the draft? Look, we'll give you a second round pick. We give you Herbert.
Like I said yesterday on Bears Central, I'm surprised we didn't trade him in offseason. I thought he was going to been gone. Like I felt like that was the perfect opportunity, including with Velus, because somebody actually had a trade for him. But y'all gonna make my blood pressure go back up. But thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of Chi-Town Sports with your boy Steve O Speaks and Q in the building. We gonna be in this one tomorrow, of course, with Big Kid returning. But thank y'all for tuning in. It's been another episode of Chi-Town Sports, and we'll tune in next video.